What is happening, people? Says welcome back to episode 2 of the YIC Podcast. Sadly, tonight Doak is off ill. He won't be joining us, but we have amazing guests as always. We have SmoeNova and we have Flo from Lazy Art. But yeah, so this episode we kind of want to do a little bit of a talk on if we had to start at the beginning again, 0 followers, 0 following, as in anything and everything to do with our base that we have now. So obviously that we've all got a bit of a fan base and we all know a lot more than what we started out. But if we had to reset ourselves today, what would we do different and how would we go
Today?
about it? Yes.
Can
if
we
you
go
had to
back in
reset.
time or do we start today?
So you'd have all your knowledge and go back. So
Okay, I would invest in Bitcoin.
yeah, well,
That's the answer. I just
All right,
saw
nice.
a documentary about Bitcoin today, and I would say if I could go back 10 years in time, I would just put like 10,000 euros in Bitcoin, and that's it. I would have a whole team. I would even have somebody else making this podcast for me because I was rich.
To be honest, keyword of Bitcoin. I just joined the Bitcoin game in. Let me guess. It was like 2016 or something.
Really?
And I joined it with 1,000 euro
Mm-hmm.
in. I guess Bitcoin was at 9,000 or 10,000 at this point. And I really wanted. Now I really want that I just invested about, I don't know, 5K.
Bitte was, Oskar? Oski, wirklich, ich bin hier in einer Aufnahme. Ich kann gerade nicht. Bist du angezogen?
Ich bin angezogen.
Ja, dann komm eben schnell rein. I was afraid that my son comes in here because he is an artist as well.
Hi.
Hi.
And he always
Hey, Oski.
paints. He can't hear you.
What's that?
It's going bigger and bigger. It's a monster. It has a lot of different brains and awful teeth and mouth and tentacles everywhere. And
Crazy.
bloody feet. It's a whole series of these green monsters, and Oscar paints them, and they are all at the wall behind me over there that you can see now. But over there, kannst du mal Licht anmachen? Mach einmal Licht an. Is it now a little bit visible?
yeah.
There are some more of
nice.
these monsters. It's a whole series of these monsters, and they're getting bigger and bigger. And now this is already 3 sheets of A3 paper.
I guess you need a bigger office to just place them on the wall.
I think we have to replace them one time. Okay, kannst du es auf der Wand aufhängen? Okay, perfect. Yeah, he entered this wall. It's not my wall anymore. And now
It's the next generation. So
it's the next generation. Today I just was listening to the podcast from Greg Crayola Simpkins. It's called Chats and Tats. And he was talking about the time when he was a kid and was always painting all day long. Dann legst du einfach auf den Tisch, dann mache ich das später. Dann legst du auf den Tisch, ich mache einmal das Licht aus, du machst das Licht aus. Einfach auf den Tisch hinlegen. Perfekt. Wissenschaftz. Danke.
Bitte.
Tschüss. Licht aus. Danke. Okay, we're Chats and Tats, and he was talking about that he was painting all day long and was always a quiet kid that was not very social and was painting all day long. And this reminded me so much of me and so much of him because he's Like he comes back home, he instantly starts painting instantly, and painting, 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 and he produces like one painting each day, two paintings. It's crazy. Very productive.
That's when you get that's when you're painting every day or you're drawing every day. It's like the result is you are getting better anyways when you
Yes,
do something every day.
it's
Like
always
you can
like
do
that.
it like for doodling or something, you can do it less concentrated, but if you do it very focused, you will get like the best,
Yeah,
I
Even not,
guess.
even if you're not doing it focused. If you're just painting like
Yeah.
that because it's fun, if you just there is no way not to get practice when you're doing something all day long. It's not possible.
Hmm.
it keeps your brain engaged on like the muscle memory of it all. So like you could just recall stuff very like since now doing this full time, um, recalling stuff is just so much easier. Like I think when I came out to see you, um, we did the challenge of like drawing stuff out of your head, and you said, "Could you
Hmm.
draw Mickey Mouse or remember how to draw Mickey Mouse?" Um, and then from doing like a lot of these murals and things like that, like painting Mickey Mouse and things, it always then sticks with you because you've then painted it like a couple of times. Everything then gets drawn back in. You can get like the ideas from everything. Like so, from where your son has been drawing there now, he's seen a
Mm.
monster and he's like, "Oh, I want to do the claws like that," and then he's drawn the feet with the blood on, and I've seen how a brain looks. I'll repurpose this into this, and you're just repurposing all of the different things that you've had or painted or drawn in the past, and you just recall them and bring them back to life again, which yeah, I kind of need to do a little bit more of that myself, because like I said, you can easily recall stuff when you come doing your murals and things, and just being
Mm.
creative really is just keeping the creative juices going all the time. Like, but yeah, so. Obviously, like you said, if you can go back, you would invest in Bitcoin. But if you couldn't, so if everything got reset from now,
The
yeah,
question was if I could circle back in time to maybe when I was 16, I would say,
yeah,
and what I would do different
it's
with
not
the
that too
knowledge
different.
from
What
today.
like with the information that you have now, like so it can be that you go back, or if you just started now. So if so, basically, the reason why I want to ask this question is there's a lot of artists or people who want to be artists that don't
Ah,
really
okay.
know where to start. So, kind of want to get your guys' perspective on starting, really, so that
Hmm.
so other people can then take inspiration from different stories, different ways that we've come into all of this art stuff,
Mm.
and then use that because I get genuinely quite a few questions after posting a YouTube video of like, oh, I'd love to do that. Like, what is stopping these people? Like, so this is kind of the reason why I want to ask this question. So, what would you do now if you had to start now? This is the first
If
posts you were going to do and everything,
if I had to start now, and I just imagine I was now 16 years old, so
Yeah.
about to finish school and was thinking about future and what I would do now. I would instantly, I would say, absolutely go with TikTok. Don't take care about YouTube because YouTube is going down, Instagram is going down. You can do it as well. You can share your TikToks over there as well in the reels and in the shorts. But I would suggest to go with TikTok and do 3 TikToks a day
Yeah.
at least, talking a little bit about all the struggles you have. Don't take yourself too serious, and just start doing it and take the audience on the journey to somewhere where it will lead to, and being open for it. And this is what I would do. At the end, I started like that with YouTube because TikTok did not exist and YouTube was the hot place to be back then. And yeah, I did it way too late. I should have started way earlier with it. But now, yeah, I just made my first TikTok in this year yesterday, and I want to do more of it because it is necessary. I have to.
Yeah, yeah. Because it kind of like circles back around to that recent video. I'm really sorry, but I think you posted it on your stories yesterday. The artist that did the video on the YouTube algorithm,
Alpi, yes.
Alpi. Yeah, right. Sorry, if I lost his name then. Yeah, but like like you know,
God bless him.
the YouTube community of art is dead. Is dead on YouTube. Like as in the fact of if you Google like you said, search art, the stuff that comes up isn't art. It's just silly little videos that we're competing against. And it's kind of like you said, it's dead. It's kind of needs to be little
I
short
would not
videos on
say
TikTok.
I would not say it is dead, but we need to work with it in a different way to get the attention, so that we reach people. For example, my last video that I posted, it is by far the worst video, and I think the last 10 videos that I posted were going worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. It's like half of a year ago, an average video was 50,000 views, and now an average video is like 8,000 views or something. It's really going down. It's not that bad because all my videos are connected to real products, like we were talking about it in the last podcast, like painting a canvas, making a print, all this stuff. So I'm not that uh, it does not depend that much on the clicks for me, but at the end, in a year or in 2 years, if it continues like that, I will be forgotten anyways. Because uh yeah, if I always reach just 5,000 people, it's the end.
Yeah, yeah,
So I need to adapt, I need to adjust, and try to make shorter videos on TikTok and shorter videos in the shorts, and create um, a way that people, if they are interested, if they got the interest through the short videos, that they can still go to the long video and
yeah,
learn more.
yeah. 'Cause I think that the shorts are like a little clip or an advert for the longer video. You know, you kind of
Yes.
need to have a hook and then go from there. But yeah, the YouTube community of art is kind of very hard to start with. I think you kind of need to build a bit of a base beforehand, along with like images, and I think a lot of more like if I was to start now, would be a case
Hmm.
of taking a real old podcast. I think we spoke about this before. Was Slew and I think it was Slew, Kipto, Sive, and another guy, and they were
The
saying like
Rock
about
Man.
yeah the tough maker, I think he is tough. Yeah, making rugs. But
Yeah.
yeah, they were saying like about if I was trying to find a wall to paint. Now that's where I would start as a street artist and trying to find commissions and stuff. Get a wall in public eye, paint it with the best work that you could possibly paint it with, and then post the process, break it down of like where you things that you liked about it, things that you didn't like about it, things you struggled with it, things that you think you could improve on, and people then can like what's the word, relate to it.
You're the
And
only native speaker.
yeah, I mean, like they can relate to it because obviously that they are going to be new artists as well,
Yeah.
and then they can come along with the journey of your ups and downs, and yeah, that's kind of where I would possibly go if I was to start being an artist now. So what would
And
you do, Flo?
especially one thing is
Oh, go on.
get an own website. This is very important because if you paint this one wall in your hometown with the best artwork possible, there has to be a website so that people can connect with you and maybe hire you, ask you something, whatever, invite you to paint their garage door,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Flo, now you.
Definitely. Yeah. So you gotta respell the question for me, like for the specific answer.
Yeah. So
What's the
so
question?
the question was like if you was to start again, if you was to become an artist today, how would you then?
You're 16.
Yeah, you could 60 or you could be right now. It doesn't really matter. Because if you go back in time, or yeah, just you're 16 now. How would you
Yes.
become an artist? That would probably be the best question. How would you go about building a portfolio? How would you build clients? Just so that people can understand on your mindset of like how you would go about doing it.
I guess most of the people say something like, if I could restart, I would do this or that different. For me, I just gotta say, I would make everything the same way I did in the past. Like for me, I did nothing wrong because I calculated everything in the future and I thought about it and I visualized it and I try to get to that goal in future. Like I made myself tiny goals to get to that specific big goal where I wanted to go. I wanted to be anywhere. Um, because that's the reason why I wouldn't change anything. And I did some things you guys like talked about a few minutes ago. Like you have to make a awesome artwork in your city. Um, make a website which is pretty nice and catchy. And if you paint on a legal wall where everyone can see that image, you have to place your web address on the wall, and everyone can go there, or your mobile number, or anywhere you like the future clients can connect with you, and make it every time when you make something, try to not like fake it till you make it, but try to make it look professional from the very first beginning. Like this is, I guess, the key for getting a good artist and making money with it and make a living out of it. The base of all of that is that you have, like for me, the important thing, the most important thing is you have skills in what you do. Like you got to trust your skills when you paint. You don't have to like be scared of what you're doing. Like I I guess every artist is standing on the wall, and somehow there is like one or two moments when you don't know what you got to do the next. So the client stands right behind you, maybe, and you got to do your thing, and you are thinking about, okay, what's the next step? There's a little pressure. I don't know
Do you
what
know what I
I got to
do
do.
in this moment? I always say that. I always say, um, I know that I look confused in this moment because I am confused. I have right now no idea how to continue. I think I will step some steps back and have a look, and maybe it will take a quarter of an hour, maybe a half. But I need a break right now. It's
Yeah,
always if you say it like that, you release all the pressure because if you sometimes you just need some processing time in your brain because you have done something that is so good that you have painted better than you are able to process it, and then your brain needs to catch up with what you have done,
yeah,
and this is sometimes this happens, and this is something really really good. and it is for the customer, it's also super funny. This is one of the stories that the customer will tell his friends when they're standing in front of the finished wall, and then he will tell like, oh, at the beginning I was so insecure, and I was standing there and like, oh, I got this graffiti artist in my home, and I was watching him, and then suddenly he turned around to me and said that he has no idea what he's doing, what he wants to do. And I was like getting a heart attack. And now look how it turned out at the end. And this is like, it is a story, and it helps yourself to chill down at this moment, because when you try to act like you know what you're doing and you start shaking cans or whatever, it makes everything worse. It makes everything worse, and then you start sweating and you get nervous and everything. This is why I always try to be as honest as possible. If I have a
Yeah,
problem
that's true.
in this
Yeah.
moment, I just say it, because there is no other way. You can't force your creativity when you're doing something that just a few people are able to do anyways. So if the client could paint better than you, he would not ask you to do it.
Yeah, sure. To be honest, the is the most important basement of our work or of our human being. But if you do some things wrong, and the key is to recognize the things you've done wrong to make it better the next time.
Mm-hmm.
When you paint something wrong and you have to overpaint something, you have to recognize what the peep did you wrong, did you done wrong at the wall, to see on your next mural, what can I do better to skip that failure from the last time. So this, I guess, recognize, like observing when you are painting, when you're a commissioned artist, like the main things are observing your reference photo, which you are painting from.
Mm.
It's heavily important.
And always send bad quality photos to your clients. This is the major advice. Never send high resolution renderings of your artwork that you want to paint. I always, when I was painting commissions, I was making the design for me. And before I send it to the customer, I put a Photoshop filter over it that makes everything worse. Because when I paint then at the wall, and sometimes it happens, this is so weird, I don't know why customers do this, but sometimes customers print what you have paint and what you have sent them, and then they start
Yeah.
to compare. And when what you have painted on the wall is better because you had the better design in your hand, the template.
Yeah, you can do two things in these cases. You can add a Photoshop layer on top of it, which is like a grain layer or a bad
Or a pixel, or
quality
yeah.
layer, yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
or like this cartoony automatic filter. I don't
Yeah,
know. You can
mosaic
do
something,
that
I don't
for
know. Yeah.
yeah, but you can do another thing. You have a you basically when you go to a job, you have a contract with your client.
Mhm.
Like, this is it, this is the cost, this is it. Just, and then you can just spell a few sentences down under, which says like, the reference or the image I'm working from is not like, it's not like 100% what you get. Like, what I do is like handwritten, and you cannot compare this to my sketch, to my digital sketch. Like, there's always a difference of about 10%.
But we are taught like that. We are taught through school always to find the mistake. Find the
Yeah,
mistake. We are always focused on finding the mistake. And when you got an artwork, a design that should have been painted, and someone paints it, we are always comparing it and trying to find the mistake. This is like it's
Yeah,
in
totally.
us. It's in us
Yeah.
through school. And this is why I also always, when I'm done with a job, the first thing that I do is I destroy my piece of paper where the design is printed on immediately, because that way I'm not in any danger that someone starts to compare, because I'm not a printer, I'm an artist, and the artwork is what is on the wall, and it's not the design that I've made at the computer. Even if all decisions and or the composition and everything is made on the computer, but the final artwork is the artwork on the wall.
Yeah, yeah. I think a
I
lot of
had
customers struggle to deal with that as well, though, because, like you said, they try to pick out little bits. Like if you've done like a daisy, and in your reference picture it has a water droplet on it, but that water droplet could be as big as that, which obviously that you're
Mhm.
going to miss out because you're looking at such a big picture. And they go in and they look in, oh, right, you've missed the water droplet out there. It's like I'm exhausted when it comes to the end of doing a mural, because I've put so much into it. And then for someone to come along and you just like, that's all I want to do. I want to pack up. I want to go home and just chill out. And they come in around going, you've missed this, you've missed that. And it's just, it at the end, then you kind of have like a bit of resentment to the end product, because to you, it's done. But when there's someone else coming along and telling you, like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, it's just like you said, I'm not a printer. I might get that printed actually on a t-shirt. I am not a printer, I am an artist. Because, yeah, it's probably the perfect example of what we do.
resentment. I don't know this word.
So that you're not 100% happy. Because if you was
No,
100%
I'm
happy,
always happy. I
yeah, but
don't finish before I'm not happy.
no, but what I'm saying is that you're finished and you're happy with the outcome. It looks amazing. And then someone is
Yes.
coming along and nitpicking. So picking out little tiny,
Uh,
little insignificant details. You don't have resentment
Most
to the
times people
mural.
do this because they want to lower the price at the last step of the process.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
I
yeah.
even had a customer who wanted to have some wooden doors painted, and he brought the doors to me, and I painted them back then at my parents' house. And when he came back to carry the painted doors back home, uh, he was like going like this. I have such a back pain. It's terrible. When I was carrying the doors here, I must have injured my spine, and I have such a terrible pain the whole week, and just because of the stupid doors. Let's just finish this. How much did you want for? Was it 50 euros? And I was no back then I was painting three 2 meters by 1 meter doors, each for 50 euros. It's like nothing. It's nothing. I was like 17 years old or something like that. And is it true? No, I was 20. 19? 19. Maybe it's something like that. I was pretty young. And at the end, I just said, no, if you don't pay what we were talking before, what you should pay, I can still adjust this artwork and paint maybe a big black smiley in it, and then you can take them for free at home.
Yeah.
And at the end, he paid me the full price. But this is something. It's incredible what people have. What kind of creativity people have just to lower the price and not to pay someone in a fair way. Even if the
Yeah.
artwork was perfect, I still like it today.
Yeah. But it kind of leaves a bit of a sour taste in your mouth, because he tried to do that. You've done the same amount of effort, but he's just tried to lower the value of the work. It's just,
And after our discussion and after paying me, suddenly he was walking like a regular person.
yeah.
This was a little bit suspicious.
His wallet was
This
like that.
is crazy. I guess the pricing, the topic of pricing is a main factor of being scared of young people making hard decisions, getting a full-time artist, I
Yeah.
guess,
Yeah.
because they are like afraid of um, making making big numbers, which they can
Of
if the
course.
quality is good. But this is how we started. I guess Smo and UT, we all painted like for way less money than we should have do, or we should have done in the past. So like I was like
100%.
painting, yeah, I was like painting a mural in a kid's room for $200, which I would like do today for not less than 800 or $900. So
Mhm.
I guess it's fair to start low, and as you are like, this is the way I did. Like, I started my business. I had a business coach, and he told me like this and that, and if you do this in future, the numbers would be like that. And it was like, I'm not a number guy. I'm
Mhm.
like a creative guy, and I was like, okay, this guy is right, but I don't get it. I want to do my own thing. So I started making my own business by getting jobs through eBay. Like, this eBay
eBay
Kleinanzeigen
Kleinanzeigen?
from,
Yeah.
yes. So I was
Perfect.
like, I've had um, like 5 jobs done by me, for like my aunt, for my grandma, for a friend of my mother, what else? And I just collected like 5 really nice images, like photos from the mural,
Yeah,
and I
your
saved it.
references.
Yeah,
Perfect.
my references.
Yeah.
And this was my portfolio. And I started my business basically, I just made a website to make it more seriously. But I started making my business and making advertising on eBay. So I uploaded my references. And this is basically the way, or the reason why I started as a young artist making kids' rooms, because on
Mhm.
eBay there are many young parents, and they want to create something special for their kids. Not especially
Especially
they
for the
want
first kid.
to, yeah, especially for the first kid, but they
Yeah.
don't want to create something for the kid because the kid is way too young to realize it. They
Yeah.
want to create it for themselves, and that's the key. You got to catch them to make a nice artwork, a nice design, and then you have another image for your portfolio. And it's okay to make a painting for like $300. It's okay to make 350 or 400. That's fine. But if you are getting better, and the jobs are getting better, and they are getting bigger, and at the time when one person asks you, could you paint something for me? At the same time, like, two-person ask, could you paint something for me? You should decide which painting job you got to do first, or which you got to do. And with all this process, you grow as an artist. And as time goes by, like years going by, like, I don't know, you, Smo, are like working lots of years. My
Since
work of art as a
2007.
full time. Yeah, that's a long time.
Officially,
Like,
officially, since 2004, I think I'm
yeah, that's a
doing commissioned artworks. But back then, I started. I was always sending a lot of spray cans to the customers, and they were paying it at their door to the postman. And I took all these spray cans, painted the job, and took everything that's left over with me. And I was painting a garage door and was sending 150 spray cans there. And I was just thinking, it was not meant to be a job at all. I just thought that I hacked the system and did it like that, because on that way I don't have to to write an invoice because I was not able to write an invoice, and it is not illegal to work for material. As long as nobody pays you, as long as people give you just spray cans and you take them with you, it is not an illegal kind of working in Germany. I don't know. It probably in the whole world. I don't know.
That's the system from the streets.
Yeah, that's the system
Yeah.
from the streets. And when I
Yeah,
started
totally.
to make to write invoices and being an official artist, I was always trying to feel what is the price that I can ask for without getting red ears. And this, you get used to a specific price and then always put 5% on it. Put 5% on it. And the weird thing is, people value an artwork more if they paid a lot for it. They talk better about you as an artist because they paid a lot of money for it, and they don't want to be an idiot. So they say that you're the greatest. And this is there's a lot of psychology
Yeah,
with
totally.
with the money, but at the end, I'm still not a rich person. I was just working. I started really with just material, and suddenly I started with material and a little bit of money, and it became more and more. But nowadays, I am still not like making an. Probably I make an average income like people in Germany do, but this is like, I'm not a millionaire
But you don't
because I
have to be a
didn't
millionaire.
invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah. No. If you are happy with what you do, then the income
So
is
happy. It is insane.
it's it's unnecessary. I mean, you gotta live, you gotta make a living out of it, but it's unnecessary how much it is from a certain level of money, I guess.
Yeah. As long as the fridge is full, what do you want
Yeah,
more?
yeah, totally. And one thing which came into my mind when you were talking about the pricing is like when you talk to the client and tell the client your price. The worst thing you can do is like, it's about 400, I guess. Like you got to stand there and say, man, this mural costs you just 2.5K. You don't get it any lower anywhere.
Yeah.
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 And
No.
it's the
No.
way it's
Wrong. Wrong.
presented.
I would never
No,
say this. You won't get it lower anywhere.
no,
But
no, no,
this
no.
is
Not
bullshit.
like this, but you have to be.
If you want my quality, I can do this job for 4,000 euros. If you want me for this job, perfect. But if you say, okay, it's too much for me, yeah, there are probably other artists, but then I can't do it for you because I've got other jobs.
Yeah, maybe the last sentence from me was like was wrong.
never
But you
say.
have to be
There
self-confident
are
with
so
what
many
you're
people who
saying.
are
Yeah,
extremely cheap, and I have to say, you're not doing a good job on the whole community of artists, on the whole
yeah,
scene of street artists and graffiti artists and so on, if you don't try to be as expensive as possible. Because if you paint artworks for 50 euros or something, you are lowering the price in your whole area. You are
yeah,
responsible for, like, when you do a job, there is a circle of maybe 5 or 10 kilometers around this job where people probably talk about it, and you are putting a number in their head. And if you need to try to be as expensive as possible, and people will still laugh about how cheap you are, but never do 50 euro jobs. And this is terrible. It's terrible. There's so
yeah.
many it's crazy what I've heard in the last years and of being in the Instagram direct messages. What people do, I always say to them, please, please put at least one zero behind your price. It's crazy. You're way too cheap, and you
Yeah, it's
can't. And
crazy.
if you are so
It's
cheap, you are under such a pressure because maybe something happens during the painting. Maybe you're painting and suddenly your girlfriend calls you. Her tire is damaged and you need to carry her away from the street because her car does not drive anymore or something. And suddenly you have to add a second day just to finish the last 1.5 hours. And it is not possible to do this with any profit anymore because you were calculating it way too
yeah.
low. You always need to calculate that you have maybe bad circumstances, something happens, it takes longer, maybe you just have a bad day or whatever. This is, you always need to
Yeah,
try
but
to
there
be as
are I
expensive as
I
possible.
I, I fully agree, but there are some like artists getting started with their business, and they have a main job, and beside the main job they paint murals.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, terrible.
because of the fact they're terrible, because you don't have the time to get as professional as you want to, because you have a main job and that costs you a lot of time. But what I want to say is, um, when you have a main job and you have a main income, you
Yeah,
can make totally different prices
because you don't have
for
to
your
pay the
painting.
insurances and all
Yeah.
this stuff. Yeah, sure,
And
100%.
the I think a very important thing is to cut everything. That's what I did. I
Yes.
I cutted everything. I had no money, and my heartbeat was like racing when I have no money by painting a job. And this is the struggle we have to go through at the early beginning
Yeah.
sometimes.
unless you invest in
Not that hard, yeah, but
no, I totally agree with that as well because, but I got lucky because of the timing for myself to start because um a lot losing a job and then lockdown happening, so there was no jobs. So taking up painting and creating artwork again, just bi- built this up to built this up to being what it is. Like it was just timing for myself, but like you said, you kind of need to cut ties um with the airbag, like the support systems. You have the support system if you have a job and then you're doing this part time. You always have this money coming in. But if you don't have this, like you said, your heart goes. You're in survival
You're
mode.
more motivated.
Yeah,
That's it.
survival,
yeah,
and you just think, right,
Yeah.
I need to make this work. So if I'm gonna make this work, I need to then one do quality, and two someone has to pay you for it, and they have to pay for your lifestyle. That they
yeah,
have to cover the costs for that. Like if they want
fully
if
agree.
they want um, custom artwork and murals by yourself, they got to cover your lifestyle costs to get that. And yeah, it's just that's the basics of it. And like what you said as well, a lot of time these start out artists, the quality that they are producing isn't up to the level of, I don't know, like us or whatever. They start out, and then that's why they charge so much. And then this is where then you've got to then be brutally honest and compare yourself to other artists, and not in a bad way, but be like, right, if you want to book me, this is the quality that you get. If you're going to go book a real cheap artist, that a start out artist, you can see I've got 14 years difference or 20 years difference or whatever it is. And you don't really have to sell that to a customer. They have eyes. They can see what the difference is between someone starting out and someone that has an eye for it and everything. So you kind of just sit on the quality and base that your quotes off the quality that you producing. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like, I wouldn't class myself as good as you two, so I probably wouldn't charge as much as you two. I'll probably get there maybe a good couple of years, maybe 3-4 years now, and I'll probably be to the level you are. But you are then 3 years better again. So um, yeah, so that's kind of where you got to base yourself. Is if you're gonna be brutally honest of what's around you in your area, look at what the best artist in your area is, and if he's charging,
Would kill him.
yeah, but if he's charging way more, that.
But killing him with skills,
Yes, for
that's the kindness
sure.
we want. Yeah.
But that's the person you got to aim to beat. You got to, and not in like I want to be better than him. That you kind of like got to bring your quality up to that level so that you can bring the money up to the level.
Yeah,
You can't
totally.
just be
Yeah.
at this level, this level of quality, and then charging the same prices as him, and then hoping that that's
And
going to come
if you
off.
can do this, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you're making money. Let me tell you one example which came to my head when you were talking about this. This is a real fact from my past artist beginning
Mhm.
life. Like, when I started my business, I was thinking, like, how can I get jobs? How can I get paid for painting and making what I want to do? Like, I was struggling around and searching on the internet, like in my town, like in Frankfurt, where are there artists which I can like connect to them and
Mhm.
work together with them and grow as an artist
Mhm.
by working with them. So I was like Googling and text them, and there was no, like, some didn't answer to my questions. And there was one guy, I don't say his name, but there was one guy in my town, but not especially Frankfurt, but around the area.
Mhm.
He told me, like, first you got to go to the hall and practice painting. I don't want to work with you. Um, you got to be better, and then we can talk again, maybe. So this was like, oh, I was like, okay, I train, I'm trying to get better, but I wasn't that bad, I guess. But I continued what I did, like with the eBay game and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And as time goes by, years passed by, and I grew as an artist. Last year, he booked me as an artist to work with him together, and he
Mhm.
said, "Oh, I was searching for an artist, and could you do the painting job with me?" And I did one painting job with him, and I did never once again a painting job with him. But nowadays, I see um, big big companies
Yeah.
are hiring a painter, an artist, to paint a facade mural or something like that, and they like collectively write like 5 emails to 5 artists and get like an offer or something like that.
Mhm.
And I know last year he was in the same pool of artists for one job, and
And
I
you got
just
it.
kicked him out, and I
Yeah.
got the job.
Yeah.
And that was like such a pretty nice moment for me. Like,
Yeah.
the
Payback.
customer
The
wanted
payback
me to
time.
paint it. Yeah.
Cool.
And this was the moment I was like, okay, I'm an artist right now.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
Perfect.
That was pretty
This
nice.
is a success story.
So, yeah, I mean, like, even if you think you can't handle it, try to get over it and stay focused, continue what you do, practice more,
Yeah.
learn more, be concentrated, and follow your dreams.
If you
Yeah.
have the option to do something different, like if you can choose, I would always choose to do something different. But if you are an artist and you have it in you and you have the feeling like you have no other option, you have to go this way.
Yeah.
As an artist or work
as an artist,
something?
without any excuses, without any side jobs, without anything else. Just
Yeah.
you have to go this way. You have to go through the struggle, and that's it. I was
I
talking.
guess when you are an artist from your inside out, sorry for interrupting you,
Yeah,
but when you are an artist from the inside out, you are a fully artist. You have like the drive to create something creative.
yeah. Oscar, for example, he is an artist.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you are a pure artist and someone tells you like I remember back in school when the teacher said, "Don't scribble. You got to listen to what I say." Like this was like terrible for me to listen what they say because my drive was to scribble something.
I was always
And
saying.
nowadays,
I
yeah.
was. It's now. I need to interrupt you. I was always saying to the teacher, I can't talk and paint at the same time. So I have to listen. You can ask me anything at any time. When I'm painting, I'm listening and not talking. Do you want the opposite? And most of them, yeah, I think all of them allowed me at the end to paint. And it is weird for me when I look back because I was not painting in my heft. What is heft? Piece of paper where you write on.
Yeah.
A lot of
The
them.
college book.
Sketchbook.
I
College?
don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
No, not like what you have in school with lines where you write.
Yeah, we just call it line paper.
Yeah,
School
but
book.
if you have a lot of them together in one big, it's not a book, it is a. How is it called?
I don't know.
It is thin. I googled this word now. You're really.
I mean, you have school books, and then you have
School have
a small book with
exercise
20
book.
pages exercise book
Why is it
with
called
blank sheet of
book?
paper where you can write in.
Have
It's not a book.
Planner.
It's something like that, yeah.
Schulhefte, school books. They have no word for this in English.
They have no. Oh, crazy. Okay.
That's why I'm looking at you weirdly.
Doesn't exist.
Schulheft.
But you have school in English, right? All right.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm guessing is
And
it something that
I
you
was
like
not
write all your
painting. I
lessons
was
in
not
and stuff?
painting in the school books. I was not painting in the school books. I was always painting on the tables. And my my goal was to paint at least one table in every room of my school. And shortly before I finished school, it started to become a little bit creepy because I had to go in the classes of the fifth grade and sixth grade of the real small pupils, because these were the last rooms that were still left over, and I was always checking between the lessons if one of the rooms is still not locked, and I went in there and I painted on the tables, and during the
But
lesson,
what did you paint? Like a throw up
smoke,
or a tag
most
or
times smoke graffitis. Yeah, I was
nice.
already painting smoke back then, and I think there are still some smoke graffitis in my school at hidden places.
That's cool.
Even
If you were a YouTuber officially now,
yes,
I know that you are like fading it away. But if you were like it into the YouTube game right now, you should do a video about these old tables and finding them, searching them.
yeah, the tables are gone because they have new
Okay.
tables. In I know this because they had the day of the open door, and our my uh, two sons, they're going now to the next school from Grundschule to
Secondary school.
secondary school.
High school, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we had to see some of the schools and what they're offering to our children, and they have all new tables in there. This is sad, but I still got some photos of the tables.
That's so cool.
Nice. Drawing on tables it's like
It's
it's
magic.
a no-brainer. Yeah,
It's
it's magic.
magic. Especially because you start to paint something, and the next lesson someone else is sitting at this table, and then sometimes their battles started on the tables. Like I was painting
Ooh.
something, and someone else was painting something underneath, comic figures or something, or painting a big penis in there, or something stupid.
Penis
And
every time.
yeah, penis, it's classic. And then when I was in this room the next time, I had to repair it and write some mean words besides it. And this was like we had real war tables.
The main classy thing in drawing on table is like the magic S, I guess.
Yes.
It's the magic S. Yeah.
Yeah.
With that roof and
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
pretty
Smo used to
nice.
do his name.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You should do a Smo style with that.
Yeah. But this is the only font where just one letter is existing from.
Yeah.
We should make a font out of it that you can use it to write a letter on the computer.
Mhm.
Yeah. But go on.
What?
I thought you were gonna say something, sorry.
No, I'm done.
You're done. Right. I was gonna say something, but I went blank as soon as you went. I thought you were gonna say something. I stopped and I went blank. Yeah. So, you literally like had Smo from being in school. So you started doing? Did you do bigger pieces at school?
I did bigger pieces at school as well. Yes, when we had the day of the open door, and I was still one of the pupils at school. They always wanted to have something interesting for the parents and so on. And one of my teachers, who officially knew that I am painting all day graffiti on tables, he asked me if it wasn't cool if I paint. How is this bug called that is red with black dots on it? A bug with 6 legs and
A ladybird.
Ladybird, and our school was called the Ladybird School and Mariengymnasium in Warendorf, and they wanted me to paint a ladybird with the name of the school, and I did this. And the funny thing is that on the day of the open door, one of the parents that went there and was seeing me painting there, he said, "Oh, we got a factory, and there is always this one wall that gets painted, and we always have to repaint it. Don't you want to paint something nice over there?" And this was the starting point for me to have my first own Hall of Fame. It started at my school because I painted there just in front of the other parents and so on. And this was and fun. Another fun fact is that Nick Moody, you know him both from his YouTube channel. He was like 12 years old back then, and he was sitting in the background and watching me painting this ladybird.
Wow.
Nice. But this is how jobs get generated in the early days.
Yeah.
Yes, always.
guess.
Well, they
You
get
just need to
generated like
be.
that now.
Yeah.
You just
People-
need to be
People
somewhere
think
and
like,
paint.
I guess, yeah, because people nowadays are like on the internet, social media, TikTok, wherever, and they see like someone like Stefan Kunz or anyone else like 1000 or anyone else. They are like doing jobs for Pepsi and Coca-Cola and Red Bull, and these jobs are like the main, like the cherry on top jobs, but they also started like this way, I guess.
Yeah.
There's no better way in the early beginning than making a good job. Are you still there?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're both
Hello?
frozen. Oh
Are you
no, no, Flo
still
is true.
there?
Yes, we are both
Can you hear
there.
me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
I was just yeah, it was just
His
concentrating on what you were
earpods are
saying.
empty. His earpods are empty.
Oh
Ah,
God.
right. So you can't hear us.
Ah, you can hear us.
But no,
Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, then his earpods are not empty. Hello, Flo.
But yeah, like whilst he's figuring out if he can get his microphone back on. But what he was saying there was
No, my connection is bad. Sorry, I'm in the hotel room.
yes.
Oh, we can hear you. Okay. So, just I can't really hear you, but I try to continue the story.
Continue.
Okay. You sound like robots, but I try to not listen to you. The story I wanted to share with you is like in the early beginning when you are making make your job good the best way you can, so the friends of the customer or the client just say like, this is nice, I want to have the same
Yes.
quality of painting. Who does that? And this is the way you get jobs in the early beginning.
It's like the
Did you
snowball
get that?
system. It's like the
Yeah.
snowball system. You
Now I can
start
hear you
with one
again.
commission, and this commission, every commission will
Now you
generate
are a
another
robot
commission
again.
as well. And when you paint
Yeah.
one commission, you will have the second commission. If you paint the second commission, you will have a
Yeah.
third commission, and it will continue like that. And the day will come when you are not able to make all the commissions anymore because there is so much coming in.
Yeah, but so
Yeah.
I
I guess the snowball system is always the same. It starts small, but it gets bigger. But the small size is like there is a friend of a friend who says this is nice. But if the snowball is getting bigger, then there is like a big hotel, which is like, I don't know, Marriott or something, that tells Red Bull, like, oh, this is very nice, you gotta book him.
Mm-hmm.
Like the snowball is the same, but the size is different. So you
Yep.
gotta always make sure you make the best quality you can and
Yeah.
just leave the job when you are happy with it.
do you find that social media can help with that though as well?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
So
Sure.
Most of the jobs I get through social media.
so because I'm gonna jump on the snowball effect. So when I first met my wife, I was a full time artist, and then I was traveling all over the UK painting and going like far north of England painting and things like that. I was getting commissions left, right, and centre, and then all of a sudden, like this is where social media wasn't really a big thing. It was there, but it was kind of like I just didn't know how to use it properly, and
Mm-hmm.
we had 1 month. It was the month of September, and I didn't have a single booking for the whole month. I
Yes.
had one then in October. I had
I
one
know
in
that.
November, but I had nothing in September. We was looking to buy a house, and then it just came to a point where we was like, if we don't get bookings, I can't have this as a full time income. I have to go get a job. So that's where I think it was that 2016, 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop doing it and then go get a job, go get a real job. So I was working as a graphic designer, and I was miserable. Like I hated doing graphic design. It's just sat at a computer all day. It's just, and then you've just got someone coming in and going, "Could you move the letter D to the left slightly? Could you do this?" And it's just like, yeah, you just tell me what you want, and I'll just do it. It's just as easy as that. But going back on the snowball effect, I wish that I knew how to use social media to my benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Where posting now, like I try to post at least 3 times a week, even if it's nothing to do, as in the mural that I'm working on at the moment. It's taken me nearly enough 3 weeks to finish. It's a long, thin wall all the way across a school play yard. but I have nothing to post until it's finished. But I try to do little things in between just to keep people coming to my page and keep growing my audience and everything like that. And I think
Mhm.
that's helped so much more than not doing the stuff on social media, because I think that if you kind of go off word of mouth, which you could do years ago, um, I think that's when it dies, falls flat on its face, really. So yeah, social media side of that is the big positive. But what I would like, going back to what Flo said a couple of minutes ago, was collaborating with other artists. Now, I've tried to do that in the past, and
Mhm.
it's only recently that has happened. And I think it's just because of the following that I've got, where I was a good enough artist. I've been painting for, at that time, like 6 years. And you try to paint with other artists in the local city and things, because they don't know you. They don't want anything to do with you. Like that guy said, go to the nearest hall and paint. Whereas, like,
Mhm.
I'm not that type of person. I'm more of like, I'll paint a mural, but I don't want to go paint a public space. Like, I was kind of like a bit scared, really, of painting in like a hall, because then you know that you're going to get judged. And I think that was a big scary thing for me, where I painted a local wall here in Merthyr, where there isn't any artists here. I think there's
Mhm.
two, but they just go around putting up little, like, tags and stuff like that. They're not putting up pieces. And I think I felt a little bit more comfortable doing my artwork in that type of environment, rather than going to the city, where there's, I don't know, 50, 60 artists all putting up in the legal areas. And I didn't want to go there and be painting my pretty little picture.
Painting over it, yes, it's terrible.
Yeah, and I kind of
I
got
hate it
really
as well.
sentimental with that. It's just, and I think after the conversation with yourself, Smo, was, when that painting is finished, you take a picture.
And it's free for everyone to paint over it.
Yeah, and I think once you get over that idea of the sentimental value of a painting after you've taken a picture, it can go any second. You could pack your paint up. Someone could walk along with a bucket paint and a bag full of cans, walk up, and they
Yeah,
just
10 minutes later.
10 minutes later,
Yeah.
it's gone. And as soon as you get over that sentimental part of it, you're happy to come back. You'll be back next week. You'll paint over someone else, or you'll go paint down the road, or you'll just, then your skill levels all become a lot better. Where, yeah, just getting over that, like, the scare hump of putting
Yeah,
yourself out there.
this is something like always trying to keep things like they are, and trying to protect an artwork. This is when you're trying to become better and you just want to do some exercise and some training. um, this way of thinking is the worst way. You have to paint over yourself again and again and again, because everything, when you paint an artwork, um, and when you have like 1 year of practice and you paint an artwork, uh, first of all, this day when you finish it, it will be the best that you can at this moment, but it will look terrible to you after a half of a year.
Or 10 years
And
time.
also, yeah, and also it will start aging. So when you're painting outsides, um, it has to be painted over, because every artwork after 2, 3, 5 years, it starts aging. There's the first text in there. There's some weathering, and some moss and green and stuff growing through, and some paint is peeling off. It starts to look terrible. So it is always better to paint over an artwork when it still looks good, in comparison to see an artwork aging and look terrible, and it is not shining as much as it was when it was fresh and new and nice. And I think this trying to keep things and not painting over other artists, or trying to say that nobody else is allowed to paint over you. I don't get this. Totally not. I think it's terrible that I'm in my hometown and there are so many walls and it's just me who's painting there, and I see them all aging
Yeah.
because nobody else is painting over it.
It's what I've been encouraging. So last week I did some kids workshops, and I was saying I'll take you. It's literally round the corner. We'll go look at the legal wall, and I'll show you it. And then I just said to them, like, none of you here has ever painted a mural. They were like aged from 11 to 18. None of you have painted a
Hmm.
mural. Get some bucket paint, get some spray paint, and paint over my murals. Just put something up on the wall. Have a go. It's a legal area. Just come and paint. But they were like, "Oh, your paintings are so much better." I don't give a crap. Paint over them. We need more people to paint over them. To it's just going to be me, and to me that's boring. I'd rather have other artists come and express themselves,
Mm.
and have this artwork of like this space evolve, and over time it always changing and there's new artwork going up all the time, and that's what I'd love to see happening. And yeah, and like going back to what I said earlier about not being sentimental, I was never really sentimental about my art pieces. It was because like the first couple of art pieces I painted was in my mum and dad's garage. I was lucky enough that they would let me paint in there. I think there was like 15 paintings on that wall.
Hmm.
I painted over it
Hmm.
all the time. I took a picture, and that was it. I took a picture, paint over it, do another one next week or in a couple of days' time. So it was. I think the fact of like doing the legal zones weren't the fact of being sentimental, as in holding on to my I want my painting to last forever. I think it was the fact of being judged, and I think people hang that over themselves. So like when you first ever start doing artwork, a lot of people think that, oh, I don't know, artists in this area like are gonna be like, oh, have you seen this new
And
guy?
this is also school. This is also school is the problem. People are afraid to paint somewhere because they think they get judged.
Yeah,
Do you know how many people are happy when they come to a wall and there are a lot of good artworks, but this one shitty artwork, they know exactly where to paint over without getting stressed with other artists?
yeah,
Perfect. We need these people.
yeah,
Yeah, but it's kind of often. I see very often there is a hall in Frankfurt. You've been there, Smo. I know you've been there
Ratswegkreisel.
with Crazy, yeah. And
Ratswegkreisel.
dieser Ratswegkreisel,
Can,
spell it for
can
all
you
the
say
English people.
Can you say Ratswegkreisel?
Ratswegkreise.
Yeah, that's nice. This is a legal hall in Frankfurt. It's very big and it's very nice, but it smells a bit like pee,
A
but it's
toilet,
okay.
yeah, a toilet and weed.
Yeah, it smells like it's. There are different artworks and all the like detailed pieces where you can immediately see there was an artist who spent a lot of time painting this. Stands for longer than like chrome bumpings
Yeah,
or something like that. And that's
Yeah,
pretty nice. That's
that's it.
okay.
That is
That's
nice.
okay. Yeah.
That is nice. But if such a what I don't like is when there are artworks on a Hall of Fame and they were standing there for like 3 months. And then suddenly they are so old that nobody is allowed to paint there anymore because it was standing there that long. And this is terrible. Hall of Fames have to be there for painting, and that's it. They have to be there
Yeah.
for painting. But if you're
Totally.
painting there, of course, uh, it is terrible when you go to a Hall of Fame and you go back home without painting because there are so many good artworks. You have to choose one and paint over it. But if you choose one, at least try to choose with your best knowledge to choose one of the artworks that is not that high quality, that does not look like a lot of effort. And if you made a mistake, okay, you made a mistake. It is like it is. And
Yeah.
somebody comes and beats you up, okay, you painted over the wrong person. Happens as well.
That's exactly what I did with Mattis zusammen,
Yeah.
together with Mattis, the organizer of the Paint on Walls festival, and we've been to Mallorca, to Spain, and we had a business trip, and there was a meeting, but we stayed 2 days longer to paint something. And there is I guess there are 2 halls in Palma de Mallorca, and we've been to one of them, and the wall is so long, and it has only masterpieces on it, and we were we cannot paint over this. That looks like every single piece is awesome, but we picked all the pieces were nice, but we picked the oldest one, because they have tags, and we picked a piece from 19 or something. And then we were okay, this is fine. So we picked the oldest one. The others are newer. They have the same freshness, but they are new. And we picked the oldest one, so we are fine with it. And Mattis told me he watched one of your videos when you were talking about going to the hall and making a picture of the image before you paint, just in honor to the artist who did the picture, who did the style. And the first thing we've been to the wall, the first thing Mattis did was picking up his phone, taking a picture, and then prime it.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there comes the story, then suddenly this guy appeared, and then
No. There is another story, but this was scary, kind of. We've been painting there for 2 days. We were lazy, and we were painting there for 2 days. And the second day, there was a couple in front of the wall, and they were doing drugs, which was not very nice. But they were searching for 1.5 hours to get a vein, to get that thing in, and that was terrible for us. We were not painting for 1.5 hours, just sitting there smoking a cigarette, have a drink, and wait until they were gone. And they were so wasted. And yeah, that's the part of the story which was not nice. But we had a lot of fun painting the wall.
Yeah, sounds like a typical London painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have this. When I was painting back then, I was painting always in Münster. It's a city nearby, and at the spots where it was allowed, or where it was not restricted to paint, there were always some drug people running around as well, and some always
places.
sitting with the head in the corner and doing something with aluminum foil and smoking something, and just there was this one guy. I went to him because I thought that he was just dead, and then he was still moving, and probably he was in another dimension or something. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so
Then
sad.
it's okay if the wall smells like pee.
Yeah.
It's
Only pee.
better.
That's fine.
Better.
Yeah, better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you so where have you painted all together, Flo?
Höser? Bitte was?
Have you painted all?
What did you say?
You've painted all over the world, have you?
Where I painted all over the world?
Yeah.
What's wrong, Smo?
I wrote the message. I wrote the message to Töser that he should make a tea for me, but I wanted to write it to my wife. And
Sending messages to the wrong people.
Ah,
Actually, I didn't paint like in a few countries. There is like a painting from me in Germany, of course, because I live here.
Yeah.
Um,
I've got a painting in
in
Germany.
Africa.
I've got a painting in Germany.
How many?
One.
Or like
One.
no, especially I have like was heißt Rechnung auf Englisch, wenn ich eine Rechnung
Invoice.
schreibe?
Invoice.
Invoice.
Writing an invoice.
When I write an invoice in Germany, you have to number it because of everything has to be like exactly.
Yeah, it's the same
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
Continuing
So
numbers
you have
so that
Yeah,
the
so you have continuing
tax
numbers,
office knows. Yeah.
and as time goes by, and I work as a full-time artist, like to be honest, not every painting has its own invoice,
Mhm.
but I didn't say anything. But as the invoice numbers continues, I wrote my 500 at the beginning of last year or something. So I painted about 500 pieces in Germany and one piece in Africa, which was in January, but it was like not that painting job, like not a client thing. I painted in Spain this hall,
Yeah.
and I guess this is it. In Austria, I guess I painted something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So have you
but that is it.
Smo?
Yeah.
I know you've obviously done. We all know because obviously YouTube videos, but Brazil, and Slovakia. Yeah.
And Switzerland. Painted also in Switzerland, and I painted in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Have you been to the arena?
No.
Have you been invited to the arena yet?
No. I don't really like the walls over there. I don't know why the arena is such a big thing, because the walls are always like 50 centimeters wall, then there is a gap, 50 centimeters wall, then there is a gap.
Yeah, but it's famous.
It's
But
famous.
it's famous.
It's
Yeah.
probably nice to paint over there, but if I would paint there, I would take some canvas fabric and
Make it flat.
make it flat. I would make it flat. even if I go away and then it's a week later, it looks like shit. But at least I have fun and I have a good video. I have a good artwork. I have a good picture.
Yeah.
And
Preparing the wall with a concrete machine and then paint on it.
yeah, okay. I take some bricks with me and concrete.
Put them in the back of the car with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scaffolding, no problem. Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usual painting job.
No, I was not
Just
invited
preparing.
there, and I just sold my car, and now everything gets more complicated, anyways, with traveling and so on.
Your Hyundai is gone.
Yes, it's gone. It was I always, because we are in Germany, we have to write a book where all the driving kilometers and everything is in there, and where were you, which destination were you driving, which time, and all this stuff. You have to write a documentation about all this stuff, and
Is that for taxes?
for taxes, yes. And my tax consultant asked me, I think 2 times this year, if I forgot to send this book to him, because he wants to put all the numbers in for the calculation and everything. And I just said I did not. I just did not drive. I just did not drive. I don't drive that much anymore, and I'm so happy that I can paint in my hometown. And I don't drive, and I don't want to go to jams that much. If I am invited to the Paint on Walls festival, I will drive with my wife's car, but
We should do a wall together this year.
Yes.
If it happens, I just talked to Mattes because we are friends either, and I talked to him and I said, if there is an opportunity, if you are planning the festival again, because he is like, I guess, struggling because of the location, because the location of last year is like wasted, and if there is a location, probably we as the YIC crew get a wall together and paint a big one. Yeah, man.
This will be insane. This will be cool. The last one was cool, but there was one person missing. It was too much wall for only 2 people. Like I'm pretty much happy with the result that Doug and me did together, but
Mhm.
it
If you had one more
it,
person, it would have been quicker as well, because you were one day too long, weren't you?
Yeah, we painted another day as well, or another half of a day. We were totally exhausted, and we reached like 90% of what would be possible. And it is annoying. It is annoying because we just ran out of power, and this was also affecting all the other projects that we did afterwards, like the painting with my son Oscar, then the graffiti battle that we did, the speed battle, and we wanted to do even more videos, but we were just totally ran out of power. And this was because the wall was too big and we were making too many big projects right after each other, and I had just 3 days between coming back from Brazil and doing the painting on the Paint on Walls festival. It was just too much.
Yeah, you burn out that way.
Yeah. Was an
Yeah, I mean,
interesting,
you just had just a couple of days with Doug, so you wanted to be productive.
Yeah,
These
as
days.
much as possible. Yeah, it's always I'm always planning more than I can do, and at the end my body sets the limit.
Yeah.
My body says no. You are tired now.
I think our avatar wall was the right size for the amount of days. Like, we picked 3 days.
3 days.
Going to be 3 days of painting. We knew that, and then that's the size of the wall that we picked. That we knew that was going to be feasible and doable.
Yeah. I'm super happy with this project still.
Yeah, you got Mr. C coming back out to see you. Has he messaged you?
He messaged me and I asked him when, but he did not reply anymore.
I think
somehow.
he said 27th of March. He's asked me to come with him.
27th of March. I did not put it in the calendar. I need to see. I will write me.
He said 27th to me in my messages. I could have a look, but I'm pretty sure he said maybe the 27th or something around that area. But I can't come. I would
27th of which month? Of March?
This month, yeah. Yeah, I can't come this month. I've got too much work on. My wife will have 2 kids, and it's just obstacles. But yeah,
seems doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, no, he's he said to come back out and see it, like, because he said he'd love to go see the Avatar room because it's in the same room as the rats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Flo, you should really, if you get a chance. I know the weather's going to get a lot warmer soon, and get up and paint the factory. The tour. Well, I need to go back because there's been a couple more Nick Moody murals gone up since I've been. Obviously the Doak challenge video, the throw up challenge, and the Oscar murals. I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah.
So. Oh, and then you got the raptor, the shark tank. There's loads to see now. It's like a problem.
The raptor is like overpainted, I guess.
Yeah.
Didn't you do that at the end of the? Yeah.
I destroyed it. Yes.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Pixelated it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a stupid idea. It was just so stupid. It was not necessary at all. But
yeah, I was like at the video at 75%. I was like, oh, nice. The video is like this is the end. And I realized, okay, there are a few minutes left. What will he do in these few minutes? And I was like, no way.
Yeah,
He wasted
it
it.
was so stupid. It was so stupid. It was absolutely
But it's
not necessary. This is one of the real mistakes I did in the last year. It was a real mistake. It was just stupid. Not necessary
but
at all.
but in your mind, getting over it is like the same as over painting in a hall, like getting over a piece with that you are not happy with, continuing, going to the next project, leave it the way it is. That's a
Yeah,
practice for your mind.
yeah, but walking along this wall and always seeing this mess that I left over there, if I would just paint something different over it, it would be better. But walking along this, but I don't want to paint in a corner again. Maybe I should paint a graffiti in a corner soon and paint it over there too.
Yeah, can't you do an optical illusion? Like I can't remember the artist's name. He does it all the time, but he
Or
does.
dive.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. Do something. Have a go doing something like that because you would.
Yeah.
You'd smash that easy. You can do optical illusions.
Easy.
Easy. Easy.
Easy. Yeah, two things about this factory. I want to see all the pieces
Yes.
first. You should show them to me.
Yeah.
Second thing, I want to paint with you in this factory.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's find a date.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no,
No
If
problem.
it's a little
we
warmer.
definitely need to
yeah.
find a day to get all four of us together.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
yeah, I'd definitely be there for that. I'd bin everything off to come. And this time I'll paint longer than 4 hours.
Yeah. That was crazy, insane how fast you painted last time at the Paint on Walls festival.
Yeah, I messed up
Crazy.
so bad.
Especially through the window, and that you still made it.
Yeah.
That the face still does not look crooked, while it was like there was such a distance between the wall and the window, and you painted the eye over it. It was crazy.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
with
you nailed it.
more time would have been easier. But I had to juggle the family. I didn't book the right hotel, so I had to go put them in a different hotel, drive like an hour and a half, drop them off, drive back, and it's just. And then I just wanted to, and then it was like there was no time to like because obviously that when you go to jams like this, I think like Doak said that a lot of the time you want to talk to people like Flo. We didn't even know who each other was before this, and we had a little conversation. I think I spoke to your friend a lot longer because I think you was painting, and just meeting other people would have been nice. To be there longer than 4 hours I would have just talked to everybody, but I think that would have been the highlight. So I think one, more time to travel out, two, book the right hotel, and yeah,
And have nice evenings. Have nice
Yeah.
evenings. Sitting at the campfire. Sitting at the campfire
Yeah.
together and having campfire talk. This is the best.
This artist village, this tent artist village on Paint on Walls festival is the best. Like
Especially
talks
with
you
the
have.
caravan.
Yeah, especially like to be honest, we have been so late this evening. We built our tent in the fully night. There was like darkness everywhere, and it was a tent from a friend, and I didn't build it before. Like it was the
Terrible.
first time, and I saw nothing. Like our flashlights from the mobile phone were like on, and we didn't know anything what we do. But it was nice because we just had a good time at the campfire, sitting
Yeah.
there and having a drink,
Yeah.
and afterwards we just built the tent and slept like somehow there.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's pretty nice. Next time.
Right, lads, I think that's a perfect ending to the podcast, and yeah, thank you very much for coming on again. If
Always.
yeah.
See you soon again.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since the last one, so see you in about 2 weeks' time. We'll get another date.
Yeah, hopefully with Doke again.
Yeah. But like obviously what we can do is maybe even if I sub myself out, and we get someone else in, just to not now, but we'll do a couple of these, and then we'll sub out some people and bring someone in, because it would be nice to have a 4-way again. And yeah, we'll look at that in the future. But yeah, pleasure, lads. Pleasure chatting. It's just want to give you something that like I've taken away from this is like it's nice talking to other people that are in the same industry, because there isn't many people that you get to chat with. We're like kind of all solo people. Yeah, and it's kind of nice to just vent out problems and talk about trying to make the world right and solutions and everything. So yeah, no, this has been cool. I can't wait to the next one.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
Me too.
Awesome.
Nice ending.
Yeah, cool. Right, lads. See you next time.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.